We had started a lecture series on alkyl and allyl halide, and in this reference, on the last term, I have finished the preparation of alkyl halide and the physical properties of the alkyl halide. Now today, I will be discussing chemical reactions shown by alkyl halide. So let us start now about the chemical reactions of the alkyl halide. There are three types of reactions which are shown by the alkyl halide. These are the nucleophilic substitution reaction, elimination reaction, and reaction with metals. First is nucleophilic reactions, nucleophilic substitution reactions. Second is elimination. And third is reaction with metals. I will be discussing one by one. First of all, we shall take nucleophilic substitution reactions. Now, before starting nucleophilic substitution reactions, we should know what is a substitution reaction. A substitution reaction is that in which one atom or group is replaced by another atom or group. And if the atom or group is replaced by a nucleophile, or a weaker nucleophile is replaced by a stronger nucleophile, then it is called as nucleophilic substitution reaction. The most familiar example of the alkyl halide showing nucleophilic substitution reaction is CH3Cl OH minus giving you CH3Cl plus CH3OH plus Cl minus. Here OH minus is replacing Cl minus, that is the chloride ion. It means that OH minus is stronger nucleophile in comparison to that of the chloride ion or the chloride radical. Now alkyl halides being polar in nature, and because of their polarity, a partial positive charge is developed on the carbon atom joining the halogen, and that's why the alkyl halides easily undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction, or a nucleophile can easily attack at the electron deficient carbon atom, and hence we can say that it will show nucleophilic substitution reaction. Now this nucleophilic substitution reaction is of two types. One is SN1 and other is SN2. Nucleophilic substitution reaction is of two types, SN1 and SN2. And before discussing about SN1 and SN2 reaction, we shall see that among alkyl halide, that is alkyl chlorides, bromides, iodide or fluorides, what would be the order of the nucleophilic substitution reaction and what is the cause behind it. So order of nucleophilic substitution reaction substitution among various alkyl halides having same alkyl group is R I R B R R C L and R F. This is the decreasing order of nucleophilic substitution reaction of the various alkyl halides and also the decreasing order of stability. Decreasing order of nucleophilic substitution, whether it is SN1 or SN2, that doesn't matter. Decreasing order of nucleophilic substitution and stability. Now, why is this order is followed? When we compare the size of the different halogen atoms, we find that among fluorine, bromine and iodine, the fluoro group has the smallest size and iodo group has the largest size. Therefore, among RCl, RBr, or you can say Ri, RBr, RBr, RCl and RF, the size of halogen decreases. Therefore, bond distance forming carbon halogen decreases. Bond dissociation energy increases. And therefore the stability or tendency to show nucleophilic substitution decreases. So in short, we can say that carbon halogen bond distance from Ri to Rf, this is your RF decreases on increase due to decreasing size of the halogen atom, and this decreasing bond distance causes an increase in bond dissociation energy, and when the bond dissociation energy will increase, the stability or tendency to show nucleophilic substitution will decrease. Now let us take the case of primary, secondary and tertiary alkyl halides or the SN1 and SN2 reaction. As I have told you that there are two different types of nucleophilic substitution reaction. One is SN1 and other is SN2. So first of all, we shall take SN1. SN1 stands for nucleophilic substitution first order. Nucleophilic substitution, first order, and SN2 stands for nucleophilic substitution, second order. Why is it called as first order? This is because in case of SN1 reaction, the rate of reaction is directly proportional to concentration of substrate molecule only. In SN1, rate of reaction is directly proportional to concentration of alkyl halide or substrate. That's why it is called as SN1 reaction. Since there is concentration of only one molecule, which involve the rate determining step, that's why it is called as SN1 reaction. In SN2, rate is directly proportional to concentration of alkyl halide as well as concentration of substrate. Sorry, concentration of nucleophile. That is, two molecules are involved in the rate determining step. That's why it is called as SN2 reaction. In SN1, it is a two-step reaction. SN1, it is two-step reaction. While SN2 is one-step reaction. In SN1 reaction, there is formation of carbonium ion in the intermediate step or in the rate determining step, and therefore those molecules or those alkyl halides which will form more stable carbonium ions will more easily undergo SN1 reaction. So in SN1 there is formation of carbonium ion. Carbonium ion. While in SN2 there is formation of transition state. Formation of transition state. And we know that among the various carbonium ions like primary, secondary and tertiary, the tertiary carbonium ion is the most stable, while the primary carbonium ion is least stable. Therefore, primary alkyl halides containing primary alkyl group will show SN2 reaction, while the compounds containing or the alkyl halides containing secondary or tertiary alkyl group will easily show SN1 reaction. And if we further compare the reactivity of benzylic and allylic halides with those of the tertiary and the secondary alkyl halides, we find that benzylic carbonium ion is much more stable than allylic carbonium ion, and allylic carbonium ion is much more stable in comparison to that of the tertiary carbonium ion. Therefore, benzylic and allylic alkyl halides will more easily undergo SN1 reaction in comparison to that of the tertiary alkyl halide. So, decreasing order of SN1 or increasing order of SN2 reaction of various alkyl halides will be like this: benzylic halide, allylic halide, tertiary alkyl halide, secondary alkyl halide, primary alkyl halide, primary alkyl halide. So this will be the decreasing order of SN1 reaction or increasing order of SN2 reaction. That is, primary alkyl halide will more easily undergo SN2 reaction, while the benzylic halide will more easily undergo the SN1 reaction. So if it is asked that if there are two compounds Cl so this is your tertiary alkyl halide and this is your secondary alkyl halide. So it will more easily undergo SN1 reaction and this will more easily undergo SN2 reaction. Similarly, sometimes it is asked that why is allyl chloride more easily hydrolyzed in comparison to that of the tertiary alkyl chloride. Allyl chloride CH2 double bond CH single bond CH2Cl is more easily hydrolyzed than tertiary alkyl halide. This is because in case of allylic halide, there is formation of allyl carbonium ion having positive charge at the carbon atom, and in case of tertiary alkyl halide, there is formation of tertiary carbonium ion, and allylic carbonium ion is more stable in comparison to that of the tertiary carbonium ion. This is because allyl carbonium ion CH2 double bond CHCl, CH2 double bond CH, CH2 plus is more stable than tertiary alkyl carbonium ion. And why is it more stable? This shows resonance, or it is stabilized by resonance because of positive charge double bond conjugation, and this is stabilized by hyperconjugation, and the resonance factor dominates for hyperconjugative factor, and that's why stability of allyl carbonium ion is more stable in comparison to that of the tertiary alkyl carbonium ion. Similarly, if there are two compounds like this benzyl chloride and this is your allyl chloride. So if it is asked that which will more easily undergo SN1 reaction, so this will more easily shows SN1 because benzyl carbonium ion is more stable in comparison to that of the allyl carbonium ion, and in SN1 reaction there is formation of carbonium ion, while in SN2 there is no formation of the carbonium ion. Now, since in SN1 reaction there is formation of carbonium ion and the geometry of the carbonium ion is planar, that's why the nucleophile can attack from either side, that is either from the back side or from the front side, which I will show just right now with the help of the mechanism of the reaction. And hence, in case of SN1, there is formation of racemic product. Formation of racemic product if there is chiral carbon atom or the alkyl halide is optically active in nature. And in case of SN2 reaction, there is optically active product is formed. Optically active product is formed. In case of SN2 reaction, there is inversion of the configuration takes place since the nucleophile is attacking from the back side. While in case of SN1 reaction, there is no such condition. In SN2, inversion of configuration takes place, and this inversion of configuration is called as Warden inversion. In case of SN1, there is no such condition. There is no such condition. Next factor which affects the relative rate of the SN1 and SN2 reaction is in case of SN1, it is favored in protic solvents. It is favored in protic solvents of high dielectric constant. Like in aqueous medium. While in case of SN2 reaction, it is favored in aprotic solvents. It is favored in aprotic solvents. Like acetone, DMF, dimethyl formamide, but generally we use generally we use ethanol as solvent. Another difference in between the SN1 and SN2 reaction is that since in case of SN1 reaction there is formation of the carbonium ion in the first step, that is in the rate determining step, and the carbonium ion formed may rearrange itself in order to acquire more stability. So we can say that in case of SN1 reaction there is chances of the rearrangement of the carbonium ion. There is chances of rearrangement of carbonium ion to form more stable carbonium ion, that is a primary carbonium ion can rearrange itself into secondary or tertiary, or secondary carbonium ion can rearrange itself towards or to give tertiary carbonium ion. And in this case, in SN2, there is no such rearrangement. There is no such rearrangement. Further, another difference in between the SN1 and SN2 reaction is that since in case of SN1 reaction there is formation of carbonium ion in the rate determining step, and this carbonium ion may undergo in the side reaction in the form of elimination reaction to form alkene. So in SN1, elimination is the side reaction to give alkene. As for example, if this is your CH3 whole thrice CCl, if it reacts with KOH aqueous, there is formation of CH3 whole thrice COH, plus this compound is also formed, but is in minor amount. And this formation of this alkene is on account of the elimination reaction is taking place in the site. In SN2, there is no side elimination reaction. And another point of difference in between SN1 and SN2 is that the SN2 reaction takes place through a stronger nucleophile, while SN1 reaction takes place comparatively through weaker nucleophiles. So in SN1 reaction, attacking nucleophile is comparatively weaker, As for example, I have told you, in case of the hydrolysis of the alkyl halide, as this reaction, the attacking nucleophile is OH minus ion, and in SN2 reaction, the attacking nucleophile is comparatively stronger. The attacking nucleophile is comparatively stronger. For example, consider the reaction of the alkyl halide with sodium hydroxide, for example, CH3Cl plus NaOCH3. Here this is your nucleophile OCH3 minus. So this replaces Cl minus, forming CH3 OCH3 plus NaCl. This reaction takes place through SN2 mechanism. So these are some of the differences about the SN1 and SN2 reaction. And in order to understand it more clearly, it is must to know the mechanism of these reactions. So we shall first start with the SN2 SN1 reaction. So mechanism of SN1 reaction. Mechanism of SN1 reaction. As I have told you that this is a two-step reaction. In the first step, there is formation of the carbonium ion by the ionization of the alkyl halide, and therefore that alkyl halide will be more easily ionized, which will be more polar in nature, or it will form more stable carbonium ion. And if we compare primary, secondary, and tertiary alkyl halides, then among these, the tertiary alkyl halide is most polar in nature. That's why it will easily undergo SN1 reaction among primary, secondary, and tertiary alkyl halide. So the first step is ionization of the alkyl halide. This will give you C, CH3, CH3, CH3 plus Cl minus. This is the slow step. And you know that slow step is the rate determining step, and the rate of reaction is directly proportional to the number of substrate molecules taking part in the rate determining step. So here rate of reaction is directly proportional to concentration of this tertiary alkyl halide molecule, and since only one molecule is involved, that's why the reaction will be first order. Now in the second step, the attack of nucleophile on this carbonium ion takes place, and as you are seeing here that this carbonium ion is planar, that is it is having sp2 hybridized carbon atom, therefore both the sides are vacant, therefore the nucleophile can attack either from the front side or from the back side. If from one side there is formation of dextro product, then in the other, and then by the attack on the other side there is formation of LIGO product. And since the chances of attack are equal from both the sides, that's why there will be formation of equimolar mixture of dextro and LIGO form, and the equimolar mixture of dextro and LIGO form is called as Resnick mixture. So this nucleophile attacks here, and there is formation of the product like this. If OH minus is coming from this side, then OH will be attached here, and in that case, another optically active product will be obtained. That may be, if it is dextro, then that will be your LIGO. So this is the mechanism of the SN1 reaction. Now let us see mechanism of SN2 reaction. As I have told you that in SN2 reaction, the rate of reaction is directly proportional to concentration of two molecules, that is one molecule of the alkyl halide and one molecule of the nucleophile. Therefore, in rate determining step, two molecules will be involved. And since the SN2 reaction is easily shown by primary alkyl halide because of less steric hindrance, and this less steric hindrance is favored due to the formation of transition state that I will show you just now. So this is your alkyl halide molecule. This is Venn and Dash formula for representing the organic molecules. This is your alkyl halide. This bold line indicates that it is above the plane of paper, and this is your below the plane of paper. That is, it is towards the observer. That is, which is showing bold line, and it is away from the observer. Now, when the nucleophile attacks here, it has chances of attack only from back side because the front side is blocked. So the attack will be taking place from this side, and there will be formation of transition state. In the transition state, the bond breaking and bond forming process take place simultaneously. That is, this carbon hydrogen bond will start breaking, and this carbon OH bond will start forming. Now you know that carbon atom is tetravalent in nature, but here 5 groups are attached, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it is not possible to have carbon atom pentavalency. That's why it will be unstable state. It is called as transition state. This is the slow step of the reaction, in which two molecules of the reactants are involved. One is your alkyl halide and the other is your nucleophile, and that's why rate of reaction is directly proportional to consumption of two molecules, and hence it is a second order reaction. Now this will break up, and there is formation of the product. The molecule will be inverted. This is a bold line. Now OH will be attached in this side. This is your Cl minus. Now if this is a chiral carbon atom or asymmetric center, then the resulting product will be optically active in nature. So thus we find that in case of SN2 reaction, there is formation of the racemic product. In SN2 reaction, there is formation of optically active product, while in case of SN1 reaction, there is formation of the racemic product, provided we have chiral carbon atom. Now let us see some of the examples of nucleophilic substitution reaction. Examples of nucleophilic substitution reaction. Of alkyl halide. For simplicity, I am taking the alkyl halide molecule as CH3, CH2, Br. If this ethyl bromide or the alkyl halide reacts with KOH aqueous, KOH is known as caustic potash, or NaOH aqueous, or AgOH, or moist silver oxide. In any one of these cases, the halogen atom will be replaced by OH and there will be formation of alcohol. As for example, in this case, ethanol is obtained. Similarly, if this alkyl halide molecule reacts with ammonia, ammonia is a neutral nucleophile. Because of the presence of lone pair of electron in the nitrogen atom, this halogen atom is replaced by NH2 group and there is formation of primary amine CH3, CH2, NH2. This is your ethane amine plus HBr. Similarly, here there will be formation of KBr. Similarly, if this alkyl halide molecule reacts with sodium alkoxide, here I am taking sodium methoxide. This is your sodium methoxide. There is formation of CH3, CH2, OCH3, that is, there will be formation of ether. This compound is known as methoxyethane. Methoxyethane. If we take here sodium ethoxide, there will be formation of ethoxyethane. This is also known as ethyl methyl ether, according to common naming system. Now, if alkyl halide reacts with alkali metal cyanide, there is formation of alkyl cyanide. As for example, if we take CH3, CH2 Br, and it is reacting with KCN or NaCN, there is formation of CH3, CH2Cn, and if we take KCN, there will be formation of KBr. If we take NaCN, there will be formation of NaBr. This compound is known as, according to IUPAC naming system, propane nitrile, and according to common naming system, it is known as ethyl cyanide. But if there is reaction of CH3, CH2Br or the alkyl halide with AgCN, there is formation of CH3, CH2NC, ethyl isocyanide or ethyl carbyl amine. Likewise, if there is reaction of if there is reaction of CH3CH2Br with alkali metal nitride like KNO2 or NaNO2, there is formation of alkyl nitride CH3CH2O and double bond O. This is our ethyl nitride. And if this alkyl halide molecule reacts with AgNO2, then there is formation of nitroalkane. As for example, here there will be formation of nitroethane. Now, why is there formation of alkane nitrile when we take alkali metal cyanide, and there is formation of alkyl isocyanide when we take silver cyanide, and similarly here there is formation of alkyl nitride when we take alkyl nitride, that is potassium nitrite and there is formation of nitroalkane, as for example nitroethane, when we take silver nitride AgNO2. This I will explain you in my next lecture. So I am finishing here.